Hello, my name is Alin. In the next few minutes, I will show you how you can easily modify your documents in oXygen using the highlighted content. If you are developing XML documents, there are cases when you have to perform repetitive structure or content changes that may be time-consuming. Here are a couple of examples. So let's say you want to wrap each occurrence of a certain element with another one, delete all the occurrences of an attribute, rename an attribute, or correct a misspelled word.
So in the latest release, oXygen features a new set of actions that help you achieve these tasks. They are split in two categories. The first category of action is that are available on the highlighted content. The highlighted content can be can result after applying an XPath expression or after performing a search in the current document. And the last category, an action that is available on the selection or on the current word on the current word at the caret in the document. So in our use case today, we have an XML document that has an XML schema associated. Previously, the XML schema has been modified, so we'll find ourselves with a lot of errors in the XML instance. So we'll have to make some changes to the document to make it valid again. So the first use case, we want to wrap an element with another one. We can achieve this with the surround all action from the manage highlighted content contextual menu. I'll switch to oXygen to show you how we can achieve this. In our document, the URL element the hierarchy of the URL element has been modified, adding another parent for it. So in the XML schema, the URL element has the additional info. The additional info element as parent. So we'll want to select all the occurrences of this element. We'll apply an appropriate XPath expression to select it. We'll have all the occurrences of the URL element highlighted in the document. So now we'll invoke the contextual menu and invoke the surround all action. Since this action is driven by the associated schema, the input dialog offers us a valid proposal. So we'll just hit OK, and we'll notice that all the occurrences of this element have been surrounded by the correct by the correct parent. Another use case is you may find when you are editing an XML document is to delete all the occurrences of an attribute. So we'll achieve this by using the remove all action from the same contextual menu. In our example, the visible info attribute has been removed from the XML schema, so we'll want to remove it as well from the XML document to make it valid. So we'll select all the occurrences of this attribute. Again, all the occurrences are highlighted. We'll invoke the removal action. So now all the occurrences are removed from the document. We'll switch to the next use case. Let's say you have to rename an attribute. We'll achieve this by using the modify all action. In our example, the photo attribute has been renamed in the XML schema to photograph. So we'll did the same in our document. So we'll select it, select the name of the attribute, use the find action from the toolbar and hit the find all button. So we'll have all the occurrences of the attribute, of the name of the attribute highlighted in the document, but also we notice that the value of the note attribute has been highlighted. So we don't want to modify that. We'll remove that highlight. So select it in the results view and remove it. Now we'll use the modify all action. We are prompted with warnings telling us we have matches with different letter cases. So we'll choose to modify only matches that have the same letter cases with our highlight. We'll hit continue. Notice that all the attributes are surrounded by a rectangle. So we'll see the modification in real time. We'll rename the attribute and press enter to apply the change. Another use case, let's say you have a misspelled word that propagated to your document, so you have to correct all the occurrences. We will use to achieve this the modify all action available on the current word. So in our example, the address word is misspelled. It has only one D. We select it and hit modify all matches. You notice also the rectangle that surrounds the area that will be modified. So we'll correct the word and press enter. All the words have been corrected. So in conclusion, this set of actions represent a powerful feature designed to help you perform repetitive and time-consuming tasks. They are available on the highlighted content, which can be the result of applying an XPath expression or performing a search operation, and they are available only on the current document. Thank you. If you have any questions. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned you can use either an XPath expression or search.
Yes.
Can you combine those two? So I do an XPath expression and then I have results and then I do a search individually.
No.
Okay. Or I should
The find has an XPath scope, so you can search only on a specific XPath.
Okay.
So when you invoke the find action, you can say find only in email.
you have this this field
So
here.
how I combine the two.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
So with this interface, would this allow me to search multiple folders and multiple files?
No, it is available only on the current document.
On just the current-
Yeah. But you can quickly say Control Shift F
Yeah.
to find all occurrences of something. So you select something, Control Shift F, you highlight everything and modify or delete or surround or something like that. It's
So
a quick
so the
refactoring.
same search is the history of those searches is kept when I go to another document.
Yes, in
The search history is preserved in the search dialog.
yes,
You have that drop down, with what?
Including the XML.
yes,
XPath also have the history. Yes.
yes. The XPath will, if you apply an XPath here.
All
Le-
files in the folder would be nice addition.
George, let me ask this question. If you have a,
Make us life, our life easy.
oh, go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
no, 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 no.
I was thinking of a workaround. If you had a map, could you resolve the map in kind of an edit view where the whole map, okay,
That's read-only. The result view map in Vita, it's read-only.
read only.
The part that comes from those topics.
So it might be good to, instead of having this, the separate history, text defined, or it keeps that text defined and keeps it fast. But I can imagine if somebody has to rework a number of documents,
Yes.
a whole set of documents, that they would have a number of actions they have to perform on each of those documents. Like you did 3 or 4 actions here.
Yes.
If those actions could be saved in some way, so that in the other document I can just retrieve that action and go.
You're referring to a macro recording. Yes.
Yes.
That would be like nice to have instead of what this guy is asking for, which is of course the best thing to do is to say, okay, do this on all documents in this folder. That would be really useful. Or in this map.
For that,
Yes.
it should be better to have like a script with XProc or something, that actually do this kind of processing that you want. This is, you find a problem, you quickly apply that. Yes.
Please.
I think there is something already like that because you can do a refactoring in your project. Isn't that the case? Where you can.
We have refactoring, but for XML schema components, for not for anything. This works. It's like a quick refactoring on whatever. It just needs to be highlighted. So yes.
But you can also just search and replace over different documents.
Yes.
That
But-
would be the exact solution, I think.
But in our
The easiest solution.
in our example, when we surrounded the URL element, all the occurrences weren't the same. So you can't use search and replace to.
Okay, such,
Because XPath
for
has
surrounding elements, probably not, but for renaming attributes or element names or whatever, it would be a good solution to do just a search and replace.
Yeah.
So.
plus XPath aware, so that you know that you are selecting the attribute within a specific element or something like that.